Welcome to the shop, you guys. Just want to give you a quick tour. The building is I think around 80 years old. It's a 3-car garage. It's got a second story above us. It was originally going to be a barn. I think it did serve as a barn for a while, but since we've moved in, I've slowly turned this into a little man cave slash shop. As you can see, we got some furniture in here just for the winter time. We do take the couch out of there, put it on the porch in the summer, but it's nice to have around the fire, watching some TV, hanging out when you're not working on your toys. This is my little wall of mediocrity. Got some of my race trophies up there. Some of my jerseys from my favorite racers. That's my nephew's hockey jersey. Shout out to Jacob. And in the center bay here, we got the toy we're going to be working on today. A snowmobile we'll be getting to eventually. Over here we've got a Sea-Doo jet ski engine, a 2-stroke we're going to rebuild. We'll show you that, guys. And this is the top end out of the Yamaha snowmobile. We'll be doing a top end rebuild on that as well. But today's project is going to be that 4-wheeler. We'll get to that in a minute. The reason there's this big wall right in the middle of my shop is for insulation to hold the heat in these 2 bays from that stove. On that side of the shop, it's much colder. And I left it that way because if you see the holes up in the ceiling, we hang deer from that during deer season. And you might notice a couple 4-wheelers over there as well. If you watch any of my race videos, that's the thing I play on the most, my Can-Am 1000. But today, we are going to be working on my yard toy. This is just a little Polaris I used to run around the neighborhood, do some chores around the house, and it is having a shifting problem. So what we're gonna do is look into removing this shifter box here, adjusting these linkages here, and making this thing shift into low. It doesn't quite wanna go over, if you look at the shift pattern, it doesn't quite wanna go over, forward, up into low. It'll go high and reverse, but somewhere in the middle there, it's got some slop. So I'm gonna pull that box out. Let's get to it. Victory. All right, so we got the exhaust off. That was not easy. The springs for that exhaust, pretty hard to reach. You don't have a good area to pull because you've got the fender right in the way. But we did it. Take a look at everything. It looks like a 21-year-old 2-stroke, that's for sure. But our next step is to remove these 2 linkage rods, going to the transmission, and removing the box. It looks like there's a couple bolts up there holding it on, and maybe a couple more underneath. Let's get at it. Remember that the high linkage was facing down, the low linkage is facing up. See something on TV. Is that another dog? She does not like other dogs on her TV. Much faster. Oh, there is not much to these things. I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but it's pretty dark in there, full of rust. Doesn't look like there's really much to these things. So we're gonna give everything a good cleaning, lube it up, throw it back together. As I'm playing with it, as I've oiled it up here, it goes in and out much better. That's what she said. So she's all cleaned up now. See in the middle there? Just had a lot of corrosion stuff at the bottom. We managed to get that out. Alright, so this is just some multi-purpose grease. Yeah, WD-40 works wonders, but it doesn't last forever. Oops, that little spring fell out again. So, make sure we got our oil wiped out of there pretty well. And I'm just gonna dab in some grease on those pins. Need to find a matching spring like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. We gotta find another little spring. There's the camera right there. About that size. So, you see all these drawers behind me, or in front of me. The reason for all these little drawers is just that, little parts. Let's see if we don't have a spring. Fortunately, my little junk drawers here, my assortment of hardware, I did have a spring. It's not an exact match, but we're gonna use it. This one is much thicker and boy, it doesn't have much bounce to it. This one's very thin and so much bounce I just flung it across the room. Okay, so we got that working. Let's put it back on the machine. The last part to pop the airbox off, you get that boot loose. Just got a clamp on there like normal boots for airboxes. There we go. It's not easy filming and pulling airbox off with one hand. I got myself a crescent wrench here and I just want to demonstrate how this system works. You've got forward and reverse coming off of the shifter through these linkages, or these push rods I should say. You got neutral, forwards all the way forward obviously, neutral and reverse. In order to get the one to go into low, you gotta make sure this front one is in neutral. Looks like that goes in and out, no problem. I think what it's doing though is it is hitting on the airbox, just that little difference. It's just a little difficult to get in the boot here. To line up nice on the carburetor. You always want to make sure you get your clamp over that sleeve. When you tighten down your clamp, you're actually compressing the boot onto the carburetor. You're not picking up any dirt. Airbox is back on. Let's see if we can't get it to shift. With a crescent wrench. So we're gonna try to go forward. That's back into neutral. That's back to low. Neutral, low. It looks like it's got just barely, let's see if I can get the camera in there. Just barely enough room to clear that airbox. So I think I'm happy with that, where everything's tightened down. Let's go ahead and reinstall the shifter, see how everything works. For right now, I'm only going to put in 2 of the screws out of the 5 to hold that shifter in place. In fact, I'm just going to add 1 more underneath just for testing purposes. Like I keep saying, I've got to take this top off, replace that boot. So it's coming back off eventually. Now, the next thing I want to do is actually get the linkages hooked back up, the push rods, whatever you want to refer to them as. these bars, not the good kind of bars that sell you alcohol, the bars that shift you into low and high. We're gonna put those back on. I need both hands. Set the camera down. Will it work? We've got reverse, forward, neutral. Where's neutral? There's neutral. Pull over for flow. Low appears to be going in and out. Back over to high, reverse. There we go. There we go. You just got to find the sweet spot, I guess. Old rackety shifter like this. We're out of low. Back to. There we go. Now we're feeling it. All right. I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said, I'm going to leave everything a little bit loose because I want to take this box back off to replace that boot. So there's no point in tightening any of this stuff down, putting in the remaining bolts. I know what they're going to. We're just going to leave that one. I think I'm going to wrap it up with that. Talk to you real quick about a couple other things going on. This machine actually needs a few more things. I'm going to replace the rear brake caliper. It doesn't seem to be doing anything at all. The big reason why it's up on the stand and in the shop is we had an electrical problem. I diagnosed it down to this switch right here. They're pretty cheap. They're only like 20 bucks on eBay. I think I actually got it on Amazon. It's the headlight switch. Most importantly, your on-off switch and your reverse override. So thanks for checking that out. Stay tuned for this thing. I'm going to do a top-end rebuild on this machine next and get this out of the shop. It's almost summertime. We won't be using the snowmobiles anymore this year, it looks like. So I'd like to get it out of the shop and make room for the jet ski. That'll be another video. I plan on uploading more and more content, hoping to get this channel to grow. And I need to build a Sea-Doo RX 951 engine for my Millennium Edition Sea-Doo. And hopefully get that in the water this year and going. That is not the exhaust for a Sea-Doo. That is the exhaust for a Yamaha snowmobile. So there's the top end. We're gonna make that into another video. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the tour of my shop. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Say hi to the dogs. And we'll see you on the next video.